right, Solace, we're going back to South Phoenix. We need a hub of operations, touching spaces of opportunity. If not touching, as close as humanly possible. South Phoenix, I'll be in a neighborhood soon. Um, I started Solace trying to pull myself and other veterans like me out of the tightest of situations, whereas in my case, after a really nasty divorce and separation from another nonprofit organization due to a disqualifiable technicality, I was homeless and in a veteran shelter, but being mentally on edge um, all the time, having never been divorced before, never been separated from what I consider to be family before like that, especially by means of like betrayal. Um, it had me on edge. I ended up getting kicked out of that shelter because a group of Caucasians felt threatened. You know how they do that? They felt threatened, and they conspired with their reports together to tell the director of U.S. Vets, along with one of the counselors that was my counselor, Tony Nystrom, and they conspired to discharge me. I was discharged, and one thing that they'll try their best to cover this story up, and so will the last nonprofit organization. But as a man, when I learned how organizations work and how they always try to cover stuff up, and then I learned how real I am about my dirt, whereas having dirt just makes you human. Having a will to correct your dirt, that's what makes you different. That's it. So when they conspired to do what they did, and they got me discharged, I was on the street for about 10 hours. Because of my preparation and so forth with respect to just staying disciplined and always keeping a full-time job, after many years of not having a full-time job, you know what I mean? I had a full-time job after the divorce and before I was actually on, ready to go to the shelter. So before I even went to the shelter, I had a job. Divorce, get a job, go to the shelter. Different, right? So now, while at the shelter, I'm mean to everyone because I just got divorced and separated from a group that I considered to be family. I'm not going to be nice anymore in life, accept it, that's it. That's just fine. But there's no reason that a veteran who got the job where he was, homeless, and then in a situation where he's traveling 25 plus miles a day on a scooter, how are you kicking him out? Because some people feel threatened, and he's been nothing but problems. How are you traveling this far, working a full-time job, and you're nothing but problems? So, when they put me out, of course, like I said, 10 hours, I was in another place. And this is because, and I'm not trying to brag, but this is because of my extraordinary ability to latch on to help bring me people on. And just how, so don't be offended if I don't like you. Just understand that there's something in you, and I'm being serious. This is likely to be you, even if you don't think so. So if you think that you're righteous and you're a star counting, if I don't like you, don't be offended. I have been exposed to enough life that I'm just like this. It's how it is. So what we're doing right now is we're setting up to get a hub in South Phoenix. Once we get our hub, then I can actually dedicate all my time that I have to Solace and getting not just the farmland that we need, but the facility built that we need, because no one else is doing it. I'm looking around at all the fraudulent men and women who are black like me, sitting around with millions and just able to be comfortable with the way they're scamming people. And, to me, it's like, well, if you're like me and you're actually extraordinary, again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just saying, most people who are in a shelter, they had to travel 20 anything miles. They're not gonna do it. And just to prove to you just how real that is, I was the only one doing it. And I'm the only one who ever did it and who will ever do it, because in order for anybody else to do it, you'd have to rewind the goddamn hands of time. So, that said, we need a hub in South Phoenix. Help a brother out.